Hello and welcome to episode 2 of 5 of 30. Let's today look at an approach to speaking English and a way that you can think about learning new vocabulary and expression. So I think one of the main things is that you need to be able to talk about things that you want to talk about. Not necessarily just some random topics a teacher or someone gives you, but you want to talk about the things that you want to talk about, the things that are important for you. First of all, decide on the topic that you want to talk about, what's interesting for you. Now, maybe you want to get some sources, you want to get some information. So maybe you read something or listen to something or watch something about that topic and get some information. You've got some background for that topic. Fantastic. If you do that, try to make a summary of those details. Put down some notes, put down some bullet points about the important information that you want to talk about. Now, ideally, you'll have someone to speak to, someone that you can practice with. But if you don't, no problem at all. Get your phone out, get your smartphone out and use the voice recorder function in the smartphone. Press it. Press the button, record yourself speaking. When you get to a roadblock, when you get to a point where you think, I don't know what that word is in English, write the word down in your native language. So obviously, have a pen and paper handy. Write that word down, but then keep going. And keep explaining, going through what you want to talk about. And every time you get to one of those roadblocks, you're not sure what to say, write down those words in your language. Then when you're finished, go and look for an appropriate translation for those words or those expressions. When you have them, repeat. So go back, record again, and then add in those words at the appropriate moments. One of the advantages if you're speaking with people is that they can give you instant reaction for what they've understood and how they feel about your topic, what you've talked about. Well, that creates a conversation. That's fantastic, and you can work with that. When you have a voice recording, you can also listen back for yourself, and you can listen to your pronunciation, how the words flowed, if it was fluent, if it sounded confused. Did you sound like you were authoritative, like you knew what you were talking about? Or did you sound confused and lost? So it's a good way to think about what sort of impression you're giving when you're speaking. And so the more times you repeat that type of cycle, very, very good for you. Now, when you have that list of words, don't let them go. Keep that list of words, but then you need to practice them. So have that as your vocabulary list, but prioritize it. So which words are the most important for you to learn? Maybe it's because you need to use those words frequently. Maybe it's because you have a particular need to use those words in an occasion coming up very soon. Whatever you do, make sure that you prioritize those words, and then try and limit yourself to say maybe 3, 4, or 5 words that are the top priority. Then the next day, or the same day if you want, those 3 to 5 words you need to actively use. Speak a lot and write a lot with those words, not just 1 or 2 sentences here or there. Try and write as many stories that you can, and speaking stories, telling people in conversations using those words. And the next day, do the same thing. Reprioritize your list, add more words to that list, but then reprioritize it and then use the next 3, 4, or 5 words and practice going through with them. That's it for today's episode of 5 of 30. Now you've got the rest of the 30 minutes to practice your speaking. Good luck.